sister girl, the one who did the whole epic speech like she was Dr. King, I do think she went a little bit too far, but that's what happens.
Nah, she didn't go too far. She didn't go too far. She was just voicing her opinion. I agree with that. I think I probably would have voiced my opinion, to be honest. Sticking up for that woman. I came across this clip.
Sometimes I do research.
I know. This one told me about it, and I watched the clip for myself. So the one that went viral.
Yeah.
And I actually took time out my day to watch it myself. And I saw the clip of the guy. The guy who said he popped the balloon because he prefers a woman. His preference is women with long hair,
long flowing hair.
And did the other woman, black woman,
they were all black.
Triggered. I mean, yeah, they're all black, but she got triggered. Now, what do I think about that? First of all, I'm not a man, obviously, but I think that a man has. He said his preferences he prefers a woman with long hair. He's to like a woman with long hair if he wants to.
Let's do a deal.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the male perspective.
Go on, yeah.
You talk about the female perspective.
Yeah, I'll do.
So after you see your thoughts and what's really the issue, do you think here from what the woman's rant?
The rant was interesting. To be honest, I can understand. Because when it comes to especially black women's hair, boy, you don't touch it. You don't say anything about a black woman's hair.
Just in case you didn't see the viral clip, it wasn't the woman whose balloon that he popped that had issue. It was another woman down the line who popped the balloon. And when the presenter asked her why, she just went into this whole thing about the sister code and how black women, they've gone through enough to be judging them about their hair choices. You come from a black woman who probably has short hair and said, actually, my mum's got long hair. And your hair's nappy too. How dare you talk about other women about hair? All he said was he popped the girl's balloon because she had short hair.
He did. But yeah, I think from a woman's perspective, I do understand, because black women, their hair is very sensitive. It's a very sensitive subject about their hair, because our hair is beauty. And I think all hairs, you got natural hair, you got wigs, you got bleach blonde hair. We can have black women out of all the other ethnicities in the world. We are the only ethnic people who can actually have so many different styles. Like someone always says to me, "You're always changing your hair." And I've had blonde hair in the past. I can change my look all the time, anytime I want to. Go off to the salon tomorrow and just chop my hair all off if I want. Because I've had bleach blonde. I've had it short back and sides. I've even had a boy cut where I had a line in it. You know, I went to the barbers with my son one time. I've had my hair even locks. I've tried.
Yeah.
I've tried quite a few things, actually. Braids.
I've had to be very flexible.
How have you felt like that, even with yourself?
What hairstyle is Jolene going to have this week, folks? Oh, no. Okay. I've got to live with that for several months.
And I think, to be honest, from my point of view, I've had hairstyles. I think you think I look beautiful, but I look beautiful with bleach blonde short hair, with braids, with the locks. I'm not sure about the locks. That's questionable. I don't even like the locks. Don't really, because you need to wear that with like Afrocentric.
The pixie cut, long hair.
Yeah, the black pixie cut was nice. I had it curly. I put gel in it.
Weave, curly. You
know, I've had all sorts of different hair, and I felt beautiful. And I feel that you liked me. You got used to me having short hair, didn't you?
So for me, I mean, as a male perspective, I think first and foremost, men are going to have their preferences. It's just whether they tell you what their preferences are. Obviously, he put a preference on blast. I think if he was slick, he might have found another reason to have said he popped the girl's balloon or say he wasn't interested. Just because, you know, anything to do with hair in the black community, from what we've observed in America, we're British, but we've been to America. You guys are very sensitive about your hair and it can be triggering. So I get it, but I don't know why it was that deep. Was she auditioning for some kind of community role where she's like, oh yeah, and the sisters, and you came from that woman and you don't know the struggle that the women have been through? Imagine, I felt like Will Smith was going to get out and slap him in a minute.
I think he's
like, all I said is I got a preference. Will Smith said, take that out of your mouth. Boom.
She just was this trigger, standing up for her fellow sister, isn't it? It was the woman that spoke up for her.
Listen.
It been a wig, actually, that short hair. It looked like a wig anyway. Imagine she's got long hair on the wig.
So I got long hair.
And unpop the balloon.
But for me, if it was something like shadism, I'd get it more. that, oh, I'm dark-skinned, but I prefer light-skinned women. That's not my case. I am with a light-skinned woman, but that was not like a deal breaker. She's got to be light-skinned. It was just how it is. We fell in love. If it was something like that, I could see where it could be a little bit, you've got tinges of, you know, the slave history and beauty standards in the West. But hair, majority of men, I would say, like long hair. They prefer long hair. Majority of men.
Really? And why?
It's just feminine because it's traditional. I'm a trad guy. I can hear people say you're a trad. So and I liked your hair pixie cut. I liked it. And in fact, I said, why don't you keep it that for a while? So I wasn't against it. But there is something, most men prefer long hair. So when he said a preference of long hair, it weren't that deep. It wasn't like he was saying, oh, I like light-skinned girls and you're dark-skinned. It was like, because you can cut your hair, you can grow it, you can put on weave. You can change your hair. You can't change, at least not properly, your skin tone, your skin color, and neither should you have to. But people play with it. So when you had your hair short, I didn't go off you.
I know you didn't.
My preference might still be longer hair.
But should it be beyond that anyway? Even what we were talking about earlier. Should it be beyond the outer appearance again? Or more
not if you're on a dating show popping balloons after the first couple of seconds of seeing someone.
But that woman with the short hair that he popped the balloon for could have had an amazing personality. Kind woman, loving woman. You know, if you just look past the short hair. And think about it.
You're not a man, are you?
Black women wear wigs all the time.
You're clearly not male.
This hairstyle this woman had looked like a wig anyway. It didn't even look like her real hair. Definitely not.
But I think the sister who stood up for the sister just was milking that. She was going on some epic. She wanted airtime.
Viral anyway.
She wanted airtime. It was some grand speech about the community and people and black women everywhere. And I think, like, you're on Pop the Balloon.
Exactly.
It's not that deep. No. It's not that kind of show. Everybody is making superficial. The amount of times I've seen women pop the balloon when the brother has just stepped out, say, hi, my name is Javon.
Yeah, when it comes to the other way around, these women are very, very, very like easy to pop the balloon.
More popping than popcorn.
Where the men are a bit more like think things through first. Yeah. The women are like eager.
And of course, this whole idea that women don't judge based on looks is nonsense, because when the brother comes on, and I've seen it on Pop the Balloon, he ain't said anything. He's just come out and pop, 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 pop. Then they find out he's got his own business. Then they find out the car he drives. Then he finds out that he's not a hood rat, but he's someone who's made something of himself. Then it's like, oh, yeah, can I get a new balloon? Can I get a new balloon?
Oh, no. Too late.
Too late. He pops.
Maybe allow him to speak first and before popping the balloons. Yeah. Wow. Only if these women just gave the men time. Because the other way around, they seem to be a bit more, like, give the woman a bit more time before they make their decision rather than just pop, 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 pop.
I've seen some, when a guy's come out and like 80% of balloons have been popped. And he's just literally come out. One time he was short and the thing then like his shoes.
I guess if the woman's tall and the man's short, then I can understand that. Imagine you got a 5'10" woman and the man's like 5'5".
Was it Russell Simmons or something? You know, the mogul who used to be in the rap, like, and Kimura. I'm sure she was like a foot taller than him.
Yeah, she's tall. She's money.
You know, I think money and success
a tall
adds inches to you. You know what I'm saying?
With a short man, that's weird. It's very odd. To imagine the man is looking up to you rather than you looking up to him.
Yeah,
that's a bit odd to me.
But I think when they're riding on a private jet and driving limousines. I think that deal breakers.
I could have married a short man, shorter than myself.
Really?
And I'm 5'5.5". Can you imagine 5'3" man?
Oompa loompa. Be the
also got to think about my kids as well and being short or something.
But if you think about your kids, if they are in private schools because you're absolutely rolling in money because the guy was some business mogul, I think you can get over a few inches, can you?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. No.
Because the short man was never on my list.
Don't want no short man.
Dark and
handsome. What if the Lord said, Jolene, this is your husband, the shortest man in church?
I think I'd cry.
But I was going to say that this is something that we missed in the topic earlier, about the choices. I think, with the women deciding we're not going to go super serious again after doing a light-hearted topic, folks, but we're in church and there's a lot of women who are single and no children, and they chose to do things what they were told by their pastor the right way. We believe as Christians that we don't believe in promiscuity, having sex outside of marriage. So get a husband, then get your kids. But I think in some cases, these women were either naive or were led astray somewhat by their leadership, because how are you going to get the husband? He's not going to fall out of the sky. You can be praying and fasting all day long, but then you're in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, and suddenly no husband, no man.
They just thought, I just want to give up.
But we're talking about women that I know who are in their 50s and they very much still would like a husband, and they've realised it's too late to have children. The boat has been missed. And I think some of them are quite resentful because they were missold. They were told, if you do the right things, God will bring you your husband and your kids.
It would be like, if I didn't go to this where I met you, I wouldn't have met you at the right place at the right time, because I came out of my city to meet you. I wasn't even in my city. So sometimes you've got to even travel out of somewhere. You can't stay in your own.
You upgraded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So sometimes you've got to travel out to meet your person. Could even be someone abroad or something. Could be in another whole different country.
So I think there's a lot of women. So as much as there are the women, like in the first topic, choosing to be single and have no kids, there are those that we know in the Christian community who kind of have chosen, but they've chosen for what they believe is the right reason, which is to wait for the right person before starting a family. But I think in some ways they've taken the wrong advice when it comes to how you deal with that situation. Because just because you might want to say meet someone and get married and it's the right person who shares your faith, doesn't mean you don't go to concerts, doesn't mean gospel concerts, doesn't mean you don't meet amongst your village, doesn't mean you don't go to events, don't mean you don't network. There's even Christian dating sites. We know people who've got together that way.
Yeah, but I know someone who went on a dating site, a friend of mine, and she said she went on there and the person just literally just pretended to be someone else. That's the problem with those dating sites. Yeah. They put a different picture on there.
Oh no. Deception.
Yeah, and they didn't work. It didn't work out to be the person they thought. So she left it.
Don't you just hate that when someone puts Morris Chestnut
on there,
Morris Chestnut on their Hinge site or whatever, or what's a Christian gospel version? We in a long time, and it ends up that you look more like, I don't know, somebody who's not very attractive. I don't want to call a celebrity because that's mean, but you're expecting Taye Diggs, Morris Chestnut, or whatever, and
Taye Diggs don't even look so good anymore. Oh no.
Anyway, we're swiftly moving on. Whoop. Speaking of dating sites, we are going to do a show, aren't we, at some point, about the dating websites, the Hinges, because we've had people that we know who are on those sites, and we've given some advice, we've role played a bit with them. We never used them because we were already long
dating already
together
those dating sites
before they even started.
Around. That's how old we are, Tony.
Yeah,
that's how old. Those dating sites, And to be honest, if I was
we used to carve things on stone when we got together. Love notes on rock, like the Flintstones.
I wouldn't even trust those dating sites, to be honest. It just sounds dodgy anyway.
Huh?
Those dating sites sound dodgy anyway. Because how do you know the persons who they say they are, like I said earlier?
Yeah.
They have some different picture, and then you meet them in real life, like,
yeah.
That's scary.
You ugly.
Short with brown trousers.
Ugly,
brown shoes.
Yeah, brown shoes. Yeah. Anyone, that's the code for if you've got brown trousers.
If I saw someone like that.
You ugly.
You know what I do? If I saw someone in real life like that, I'd see them probably waiting. I'd run away.
Oh no, you'd stand them up. Act like you never arrived.
Yeah, they'd be like calling or something.
That's bad. You get blocked, I think. You get blacklisted on the site. She mean. See, this is the real Jolene, folks. She mean.
I'm sorry, but I can't go out with someone short.
Me, that's harsh. It's very harsh. So I think tying everything up in terms of the pop the balloon, do you think that she was in the right to pop off on him? See what I did there? To pop off on him or not? From a woman's perspective.
I think she had a right to pop up on him. because black women are very sensitive about their hair, and you just don't touch it. You just don't come for women, like black women specifically.
But he didn't come for it. He just said his preference.
Even saying that would trigger any black woman. The preference. They're saying, like, all women's hair is beautiful. Come on, it don't matter if the woman's got short hair.
So your team draggage.
Yeah.
Your team draggage.
I think so.
All right.
You're on the man's side.
Yeah. I think it was not that deep.
Why?
Do I think it was the wisest thing for him to mention that, considering he's in a sea of black women and knowing it's going out on the internet for every other black woman he's going to meet now? I heard you said that about that girl's hair. No, I don't think he was very wise. I think he lacked wisdom in it.
Why would you, if you were...
One second. I think he lacked wisdom.
Yeah.
And I think he didn't do himself any favours, but I still stand by. I don't think he did anything wrong.
So
just by having an opinion.
If you were in a situation on that show as a single person...
I wouldn't be on that show, my love. I found the love of my life. Why would I go and pop the balloon?
I said...
I've already got my queen.
I know. But if you were in that situation, you were single, if you on that show, how would you react to that? How would you react to the one with the short hair? Because you said already earlier, your preference is long hair.
I just wouldn't say anything.
You wouldn't say that.
Maybe if you have... I think sometimes I have to give a reason why they didn't like someone. Maybe imagine... he likes women who are slim and slender. And she's quite thick. That would have been worse. He might have been like, I don't like women who, if you've got to give a reason, who are quite chunky.
Yeah, that would...
Oh my gosh.
That would be weird. That wouldn't go down too well at all. Because when it comes
Get him
to
over,
women,
man. Get him
women's
over.
figure, number one, body shaming, and the hair, black women especially, that ain't gonna go down too well.
So sometimes it would be a case of I've got to pick something to say why I've rejected this girl.
So what would you have said then? You just wouldn't say anything.
I might have just said, she's just not feeling her thing, not feeling her vibe.
You could just say, oh, is that a wig? And then just say, is your hair long underneath? Okay, well, pop your balloon then. Just ask her, because I said earlier, the woman's hair looks like a wig. And she might be long underneath.
What does that matter? Because the point is that...
it's what you're seeing there and then, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's his preference.
But I think if I'm going on Pop the Balloon, I know I have to prepare to get dragged or cussed some way. Because whatever you're doing, that's the kind of show where the whole internet are watching. And if you come and your fit isn't on point, you'll get dragged. If you say something that offends the sisters, you get dragged. So you'd have to go into therapy or a witness protection program if you're doing something, saying something too wrong on that, because the internet does not forget.
Draggage.
See how the clip's gone viral? You wake up, you go on your phone, TikTok. You're on TikTok getting dragged or something because you said one little thoughtless thing. So there's a lesson to that. Do your date in private, off the grid.
Definitely.
So, question to you. I think some things to think about on a light-hearted note. Do you think that it was that deep? Or are you with Sister Girl here who agrees that there's some areas you just don't mention? Don't mention a black woman's hair so you can live and tell the tale. Or are you in between? Are you thinking, he got a right for a preference, he just should have used his head to work out whether it was something that everyone needed to hear right about now in this time, this sensitive time in America, this sensitive time in the world?
About hair.
Do you really want to trigger an explosive situation when you can just say, she's all right, just keep it moving?
But then the woman might have said something about that as well. If he said, oh yeah, it's all right.
Can't win.
What do you mean?
That's my point. Can't win. Have your preference, but keep... Shh, don't say nothing. Shh. Keep it stum. Especially with the sisters now. Just saying, thank me later. Have your preference, but don't be so big and bold on big YouTube to tell the whole world.
Went viral, though.
Went viral. I mean, in the moment, I don't think he did anything wrong, but I think when he thinks back, he's like, if only I kind of like said something else. I do think Sister Girl, the one who did the whole epic speech like she was Dr. King, I do think she went a little bit too far, but that's what happens.
Nah, she didn't go too far. She didn't go too far. She was just voicing her opinion. I agree with that. I think I probably would have voiced my opinion, to be honest. Sticking up for that woman, I think.
Sisters are doing it for themselves.
She didn't say anything, did she? But obviously, I guess she couldn't really. Yeah, she could have said, like, okay, why? I've got, it's okay.
Yeah,
I can change my hair, I can grow it long.
It's not right, but it's okay.